Hi, my name is Raymond White, and I'm the co-executive director of Konspicuous Foundation. I am also the owner and CEO of Shared Prosperity Financial.
I'm Andrea Gillis, co-executive director of Konspicuous Foundation and also chief financial officer of Danville City Public Schools.
So the mission of Konspicuous Foundation is to provide financial education and literacy tools to underserved people, families, and communities, and give them the tools that they need to make more informed financial decisions impacting their wealth and their finances.
Most people may not be aware, but there is a large wealth gap amongst the African American community and people of color compared to the rest of the country. Well, it's twofold. I mean, we're targeting young people because we want to mentor them and start them young in learning about financial literacy, but also individuals and families, small businesses, because we want to address the fact that small businesses have an opportunity to attain wealth, to get them on that road to wealth.
So the name Konspicuous came from the line name that we were given, Kappa Alpha Psi, Tennessee State University, back in 1986 when we initially pledged. Since that time, we on our own, we created a foundation as we were constantly fundraising and trying to provide money for scholarships for Tennessee State University and other schools. As a line through the years, as we took it upon ourselves to fundraise and raise money for scholarships for the university, we decided, why not do this officially and do it legitimately under a nonprofit umbrella? So we started the nonprofit Konspicuous Foundation with the intent of providing funding for students who were interested in going to college, and also hopefully eliminating the student debt problem once they graduate from college and not have that anchor hanging behind them as they move forward into life. Being that my wife and co-director were both in finance professionally, we decided that we could have more impact on students and families if we focus more on what we do naturally, which is financial guidance and giving people that financial knowledge to do better, or to be better, or just to manage funds better. So we decided that that would be our focus, taking our professional skills, transferring that into the foundation, and trying to give students and those that are underserved this knowledge to still help them make better decisions about student loans and about their finances in general. We found that the student debt problem is still an issue, not just for African Americans, but for the country in general. So what we really wanted to do is focus on financial literacy, ideally get students and people to avoid student loans and student debt if they don't have to, and make better decisions about funding for college through scholarships, through financial management, and just helping the student loan problem from a financial management approach.
We were made recently aware that there is a shortage of accounting and finance professions in the country. I mean, people are not going to school to be accountants anymore, and there's a need there to increase the pipeline of accountants. And where I currently work, there's a lot of poverty, and our goal is to mentor young women into the field of accounting. I want to expose young women to the different areas of accounting. There are different industries you can work in. It's not the boring button-up suit type of accountant. You can work in the fashion industry, you can work in the music industry, you can work in the publishing industry. Every industry needs accountants. So it's not like you would just be, in a boring job. There's a lot more involved than just debits and credits. So there are different aspects of accounting. It's not just the traditional debits and credits. You have strategy, you have planning, you have, regular accounting, you have payroll, you have audit. There are a bunch of different things that accountants are involved in. They're a strategic part of any company's team. You can't have a business without an accountant. So that industry needs people in the pipeline, and that's one of the things that we want to do with our foundation. So being that Ray and I are both accountants and in the finance field, we get a lot of those phone calls from friends, family, cousins, hey, I got a question, I got a tax question, or I have an accounting question. So we're the go-to people for our community when it comes to finance. And finances can be intimidating. A lot of people feel intimidated by finances. Obviously, when it's tax season, everybody's worried about the IRS and the IRS coming after them and paying taxes. So, we saw a need there for financial literacy based on the fact that we get a lot of calls and from friends and family just in our circle about finances. So we felt like financial literacy is a need in our community, and that's one of the reasons why we also made it a part of the Konspicuous Foundation. And for friends and family and whoever individuals, like financial literacy to them would be putting them on a personal plan, like a tax plan, a plan about their budget, a budgeting plan for their everyday life. Those are some of the things that Konspicuous Foundation can help with is when it comes to personal finance.
Financial literacy to me looks like essentially we have a tendency to focus on cash. We're slaves to cash instead of really mastering our finances. So one of the things that we really focus on when we work with small businesses is getting on a plan where we are actually looking at your financials moving forward versus trying to figure out what happened on the back end. So that's real heavy, and what we do is really just getting people on a plan. And once you're on a plan, the amount of cash that you may need to spend for whatever is not as significant because you're following your plan instead of following your cash. Force small business owners to have these quarterly meetings to discuss what's going on in your financial world, and what's coming ahead. What do we need to react to? And once we're able to get people on these plans and get people to start thinking forward instead of reacting from behind, it becomes much easier to make sound financial decisions because you already planned for it. So Konspicuous Foundation initially started as an educational nonprofit where we were fundraising to provide money and funding for students interested in attending an HBCU or going into the field of accounting and finance. We've now grown into financial literacy and education, but still wanting to keep our scholarship and still keep our grant for student loan forgiveness to stay in touch with our roots and where we actually started, which was educational funding. But we feel that through financial education and literacy, which is what my wife and co-director do professionally, we wanted to incorporate this aspect into the foundation as well, still keeping the scholarship, but the entire mission of all of it is to either provide funding for someone who is interested in accounting or finance, remove that debt burden that may follow students after college for students who are interested in accounting or finance, but also for those who are not in those areas, still be able to touch those individuals and businesses through financial education and literacy, and ideally be able to give them the tools and knowledge that they need so they don't have to take student loans, or they can be more responsible about their student loan financing. Which is why tonight we are so happy to present one lucky young person with the scholarship from Konspicuous Foundation, and hope that this will help you to further your knowledge, understanding, and choices as it relates to accounting and financial literacy.
Congratulations to the lucky winner.